What's going on YouTube? Snowflakey Zemos here today with another Master Duel deck profile. This is an update to my Aqua Actress deck. Now, of course, Aqua Actress, we lost another big hit here with Swap Frog thanks to Sprite destroying our card. Swap Frog is only at 1, so I've kind of felt and opted that the Swap Frog is just not viable to rely on to get our guys into the grave anymore. So we have an entirely new strategy with Aqua Actresses revolving around using Ice Mirror and Ties of the Brethren. With that said, let's get into the cards. Starting off with our monsters, I am playing 3 copies of Aqua Actress Tetra. Aqua Actress Tetra is a level 1 300 attack Aqua monster that has an effect that simply states once per turn you can add an Aquarium card from the deck to your hand. Aquarium cards are the spell cards that works with Aqua Actresses, and what's nice about this card is it's not a hard once per turn, it's a soft once per turn. So getting this card on the field multiple times or re-summoning this card or summoning a second copy of this card works to add multiple Aquarium cards. Next up, I am playing 3 copies of Testudo Arat Newman. Primarily the deck's main win condition. It's a level 1 Aqua monster that, while it's on the field, neither player can special summon monsters with 1800 or more attack. That's incredibly powerful. A lot of good boss monsters and extra deck monsters have 1800 or more attack, and this just shuts them off from it, especially because we can summon this in defense, which makes it pretty hard to get over. Especially with our aquarium stage that can protect it. And that's nice about Aqua and level 1 is that means we can play Ties of the Brethren, and that's why we are playing our third card, a copy of Oguchi. Really old Yu-Gi-Oh card, a level 1 Aqua monster that just says this monster may attack your opponent's life points directly. It's mostly in here because it's Water, Aqua, and level 1, which means it's the third card we need to make Ties of the Brethren work. But its effect can be in handy because this card can just attack your opponent's life points directly. So if we can pull this card out and our opponent is walling us off in a way that we can't get over them, or we don't necessarily want to commit into attacking their monsters to trigger effects, we can just start poking their life points with Oguchi over several turns, and it will get a pretty large attack between the aquarium set and, of course, Wetlands and maybe Starboy, giving it a boost. Next up, I am playing 2 copies of Starboy. Starboy is a level 2 Aqua monster with 550 attack. While it's face up on the field, increase the attack of all water monsters by 500 points and decrease the attack of fire by 400. So really cool if you're up against a fire deck, but otherwise just a 500 attack gain to water monsters, including himself, is very great. The entire point of the Aqua Actress deck is we have these little monsters with these little attacks that gain a lot of attack between Wetlands, Aquarium set, and even their Aquarium lighting, which lets the Aqua Actress's monster double their attack and defense stats when battling opponents' monsters. Next up, we're playing 3 copies of Aqua Actress Guppy. Once per turn, you can special summon an Aqua Actress monster from your hand. Pretty nice. 600 attack, Aqua Actress name, 2 stars. That used to be able to get us into cards like Totally Awesome, but of course not legal on Master Duel. But still nice as just a way to spam more bodies onto the field. Particularly our last card, which is just the one of Aqua Actress Arowana. It's a bigger monster, 6 stars, 2000 attack, 2000 defense. Once per turn, you can add an Aqua Actress monster from the deck to your hand. Again, only cut this down to 1 because once Testudo Rat Newman's on the field, we can't really special summon it. And while it is worth tributing summoning, sometimes it doesn't work out. So it's just in here for the plays where we have that before Testudo Rat Newman gets set up and can search us our Tetra to get things going on a future turn. And that's it for the monsters. Next, going into our spell cards, we are playing 3 copies of Ties of the Brethren. Great card. Pay 2,000 life points. Target a level 4 or lower monster you control for the rest of this turn. After it resolves, you can't special summon, but at this time, you can special summon 2 monsters from your deck with the same type, attribute, and level as that monster, but different names. So this here is used for the trio of Testudo Rat Newman, Aqua Actress Tetra, and Oguchi. As long as we have one of these cards in Ties of the Brethren, we can get all the others out. Especially because Testudo on the field will not lock us out of summoning these 2 because they have less than 1800 attack, which is very nice. And so we just play 3 of this card because we want it. Now we can't conduct the battle phase, but that's okay. We just want to get that set up so that we can get our Aquarium stage to protect our Rat Newman and a Rat Newman to lock down the board. Next, we're playing 1 copy of 1 for 1. Send a monster from our hand to the graveyard to special summon a level 1 monster from the hand or deck. That's pretty cool. Can bring out Newman, can bring out Tetra. Those will be the 2 we're bringing out, so nothing more to worry about that. Next, we're playing 2 Pots of Extravagance. Of course, another big hit to this deck is losing a Pot of Extravagance. We don't really use Extra Deck in this anymore now that Totally Awesome is banned. So our Extra Deck card is mostly just extra card advantage, but we can still play 2. Probably throw in a copy of Prosby to replace it if you want, but I got something else I replaced it with for the meantime. Next up, 3 of White Mirror, Ice Mirror. So Ice Mirror here is the new card I'm using. I used to use Swap Frog to send cards to the graveyard and bring them back with Surface, but Ice Mirror is a pretty interesting card because we can target a level 3 or lower water monster we control and special summon a monster with the same name from your deck, but we can't special summon monsters from the extra deck while you control that face-up special summon monster. So again, we're not really using the extra deck anymore without Totally Awesome and cards like that. So bringing out any of our powerful cards is great. This is good to get a second Testudo or Rat Newman because maybe we have to normal summon one to attack. Well, we can special summon the other in defense mode, and that one's a lot harder to get rid of than the first one that's in attack. We can bring out another Tetra, of course, which Tetra can search multiple aquarium cards if we have multiple copies. So one Tetra can search one, another Tetra can search another. Also works pretty nicely with Starboy to just get a surprisingly huge attack boost to pull out and end the game. So just plenty of options there. Ice Mirror is just a good card to have. Next, 3 copies of Wetlands. We don't have Terraforming. We really want to see Wetlands. All Aqua type, water, level 2 monsters on the field gain 1200 attack that are level 2 or lower. So that includes Newman, Tetra, Guppy, Starboy, Aguchi, everybody except Arowana. And that attack stat is huge for both closing out the game earlier and getting over monsters that our opponent may be trying to defend with. Next, we are playing 3 copies of Aquarium Stage. Water monsters we control cannot be destroyed by battle with a non-water monster, and Aqua Actress monsters we control are unaffected by your opponent's monster effects. Now, all the Aquarium cards have this second effect that if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target an Aqua monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So that's nice. Even if these cards get removed, you can usually bring a card back, something like Testudo or Rat Newman to lock out our opponent, or an Aqua Actress to get more going on a subsequent turn. Stage is in here at 3 because this is the one we want to keep alive and keep on the field the most, because this is the one that will protect our Testudo or Rat Newman from getting destroyed by battle, unless our opponent is also playing a water deck, but no big deal. Next up, we're playing 2 copies of Aquarium Set. All water monsters we control gain 300 attack and defense, and all Aqua Actress monsters gain 300 attack and defense. So that means this card gives Aqua Actresses 600 because that 300 from the water and 300 from the Aqua Actress stack on top of each other, which is a nice little boost. And again, it has the effect that if because of this card sent from the field to the graveyard, we're going to special summon an Aqua in our grave. Last, for the Aquarium cards, we are playing 2 copies of Aquarium Lighting. If an Aqua Actress monster we control battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, your battling monster's attack and defense becomes double its attack and defense, and that means our monsters can get really big. I mean, Wetlands boost Tetra to 15, which means Wetlands and Lighting means Aqua Actress Tetra, the weakest one, is going to have 3,000 attack when it battles an opponent's monster. And of course, if we have Set to boost it by an extra 600 on top of that, that means we have a 2100 attack monster that's going to go up to 42. Guppy can go to 48. Now, Arowana doesn't get the Wetlands boost, but Set boosted it up to 26, in which Lighting boosted up to 52. So huge attacks to destroy monsters. Just overall a good card, and it has the effect, of course, that when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, we target an Aqua monster in the graveyard and special summon it. That's it for the spells. Next up, going into the traps, we are playing 3 copies of Summon Limit. Summon Limit, very powerful continuous trap that just helps us win games against a lot of popular combo decks. Neither player can summon more than 2 times per turn. Again, this is a deck where we don't really need to do that. Once we've summoned on our first turn, we're most likely only going to be summoning once or twice each turn. And Summon Limit being used to stop decks that need to combo off can really hurt them. It's also a nice card to have as an emergency kind of stalling win con if we can't get into Testudo or Rat Newman. Additionally, we are playing 2 other Floodgates that we are allowed to play 1 copy of. One, Rivalry of the Warlord, allows each player to only control 1 type of monster. Every monster we have in this deck is an Aqua, so that's fine. And Goes in Match, which is pretty much the same, but only allows us to control 1 attribute of monster. Again, everything we have is water, so neither of these hinder us, and they can hinder a lot of other decks, so they make good additions to include in the lineup. And lastly, for our main deck and trap cards, we are playing 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment can just negate a monster summon or spell a trap activated by paying half our life points, and this is mostly important for protecting our back row, our Aquarium and Floodgates that are helping us win the game. You know, this deck doesn't like getting its back row removed, even with these effects that can special summon Aqua type monsters. Like, we just really want to keep these cards on the field. So we want to save these Solemn Judgments for when our opponent is going to play Harpy's Feather Duster, gonna get rid of a key card, just something like that. Or if we can push for game next turn, we can use it to negate a normal summon if our opponent is locked out of special summon options. So overall, just a really good card. And that is it for the main deck. As far as extra deck goes, not too much to talk about here. With Ice Mirror and Testudo Rat Newman, we're not really going into our extra deck. It's mostly just going to be 15 cards to give off for extravagance fodder. And I wouldn't necessarily craft any more copies, but Mr. Boy is a card that could be pretty good to go into. Because like Starboy, it also gives monsters 500 attack and defense, which can be handy. And when it's destroyed, you can target a water monster in the graveyard and add it to the hand. That's pretty nice. Other than that, nothing else to worry about. Again, this deck would look totally different if Totally Awesome is legal, and if it comes back at some point ever, you know, maybe we'll see that. But until then, just cram 15 cards in for extravagance. You'll see I do got some good targets for Waking the Dragon if I decide I want to play Waking the Dragon in these slots to punish some Lightning Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster plays. But at the time, I am just cramming it with whatever. So here's a replay to show the deck in action. We are going first against an opponent who is playing pretty much what I can only describe as a bad Ocean deck. Certainly not a constructed quality Ocean deck. But I wanted to include this replay because it includes basically the main combo we're going for in the new build with Ties of the Brethren. So we got Oguchi and Ties of the Brethren, so we can use that on Oguchi to pull out Testudo Rat Newman and Aqua Actress Tetra. We already have a stage and lighting, so we can use Tetra to add the last aquarium card for the full 3 set, and of course a Wetlands. So let's start off. Main phase 1. We are going to, of course, play Ties of the Brethren on Oguchi, which will summon out Testudo Rat Newman and Tetra. Tetra's effect can then search us Aquarium set. Then we're going to, of course, play our spell cards. Now, unfortunately, the one card we're missing here, which maybe would have been nicer than Wetlands or Aquarium, or one of these 2 Aquarium cards at the time, is a Solemn Judgment to protect our board, protect our setup. But what's nice is we can't necessarily lose our monsters to a Lightning Storm because we summon Testudo and Tetra in defense for that reason. And honestly, even after that, Newman can be annoying to get rid of because they have to normal something with 1800 or with more than 1800 attack in order to just attack over Testudo or Rat Newman, or of course have the imperm for it. Now, of course, my opponent starts playing here. I see Sea Lord's Amulet, but then I see Electric Jellyfish. I know that, so Legendary Ocean is here. They get rid of it to summon Adamantipator Crystal. This is kind of where I learned it's not a great build per se. So, of course, I'm going to use Aquarium Aqua Actress Tetra. Search another stage in case they get rid of it. I drew a Mr. Boy, which gives me a nice little 500 attack boost. Now, I'm always just going to keep Testudo Rat Newman in defense because I know this deck has some big monsters with 1800, and I don't want to risk this card getting run over, especially because I don't have enough for game here because of their defense monster. But I clear their board, attack directly, put them at 2150, give them another turn. Here they play Umi Ruka. I really see that it's not a good deck because they don't understand that this one isn't Umi. Going into Legendary Fisherman. Now, of course, since this is a water deck, though, Aquarium Stage would normally protect my guys from battle, but that does not count in this case because they do battle a water monster. Important interaction to note, this deck gets a lot harder to play if you're up against another water monster deck, although really the only popular one I see on Master Duel is I see a decent amount of Marincess players, so keep that in mind, of course. But I should be able to clear this card no problem with a double attack from Tetra. We're going to use Tetra to search another Aquarium card, Aquarium set. We just want to do this every turn to further thin the deck. One of the reasons I like it. And of course, we're going to play the second Aquarium set just to give us a little more attack boost and guarantee end the game. I don't have to worry about attacking the Fisherman because Oguchi here can just attack directly and end the game with its attack stat. And that is pretty much how it works. So that is it for my Aqua Actress Master Duel deck profile. Aqua Actress will always be one of my favorite archetypes of all time. I've fallen in love with these cards ever since I first pulled them out of Dragons of Legend 2. I just think they're really funny. I like the concept of these small fish getting incredibly high attack stats when they battle monsters. That's always one of my favorite mechanics. And really big fan of this card. I wish we had the Arowana artwork with the pipe in it. So if that's ever a lost art card, I'm definitely going to be looking to grab that. And yeah, very much enjoy playing the deck. Thanks for checking out the video, everyone. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one.